Hey guys, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about how to raise your vibration, how to raise your frequency, because it is so important. It is the fundamental core to everything you wish and desire in your life, from manifestation to relationships to spiritual awakening. It is the key. It is the channel to everything you dream of. I'll be sharing my top 5 ways and the best 2 for last, so stick all the way to the end. And I can't believe I've never done a video on it because this is one of my favorite topics. So let's get into it. High vibration, such as through Dr. Emoto's work, is something that is coherent, that is beautiful, that is a perfect orchestration of source. And how that looks to us in the human realm is our soul embodiment. And that frequency of our soul coming into form and acting in every way in our lives, in our beliefs, in our relationships, and who we are in that radiance. So that's really what we're going for. Okay, I'm a happy person. But the main shift, the fundamental shift that did the most for me on raising my vibration is making my energy state, my state of being, if I am high, balanced, at ease, in love, in my heart space, number 1 above all else. It is still challenging for me, but making it priority number 1 above all else is critical, because honestly, nothing else matters except for your energy. Nothing. Because nothing that you can do will go right if your energy is not in alignment anyway. So you might as well get your energy into alignment, whether that's taking a breath, doing a meditation, whatever it is for you, taking a walk, and then go at it. And this is so significant. The first way to raise your vibration is through shifting your environment to something that is very supportive of this higher vibration. Now, how do you discern that? Well, anything that's in this 3D world is pretty much not supportive of your higher vibration. So you're going to want to look to alternatives that are coherent, cohesive with life, that grow life. And simple studies are done with, like, for instance, plants, right? Next to Wi-Fi, the plants die. In houses with 90-degree angles, the plants die. With certain detergents, the plants die. With drinking certain water, they die. So it's really easy, honestly, looking at something objectively like a plant to see if we thrive, if it brings more life, more vitality, or if it hinders us. So many of these things that actually raise our vibrations are alternative. So such things as like certain structures, right? Such as like round structures or dome structures, they raise our vibration. Now, not all of us can live in those. So certain things like nature. Nature is coherent. It totally brings more life and vitality to who we are because it is in flow with the rhythm of source. So being in nature, for instance, as an environmental thing, assists that. Reducing Wi-Fi, reducing toxic things in your environment, which includes people and relationships and certain TV shows and certain things. So it's like, what are you inputting? And analyze every little thing and slowly shift it. And one by one, you'll all of a sudden turn up in an amazing situation that assists you in thriving. So start to just become aware of it and be like, what is this light doing to me? What is this computer doing to me? What is my room doing to me? What is this bed doing to me? Like, and feel its effect with you. Does it bring you more energy or does it drain you? And so that's the assessment that we're wanting to tune into. And in many ways, many of you are empathic, but we've been numbed, through the school system, through just adhering to whatever we need to and jobs and such. But to begin to feel again and let ourselves feel, use your extrasensory perceptions to tune into what feels good. It's as simple as that. And what doesn't feel good on a core fundamental level, like a heart level, not like, oh, this is like, this extra beer feels good. It's like, no, what feeds your soul? So what we're doing is we're feeding our souls rather than feeding our egos or neurosis or parasitic ways of existing, because in ways our soul essence has been kind of like extracted out of us. And so we're like, okay, how can from the outside environment I extract from it, because I have lost myself? And that's a little microcosm of humanity. And so we've become parasitic in ways, and we actually try and extract energy from things that actually don't end up feeding our soul, tide us over in a way so that we can get through life rather than thrive. So environmentally assess what's going on, see how you can alter it, see how you can thrive. For me, it's living in a high vibrational place such as a sacred site. It's being in nature a lot. It's being around healthy people, healthy community, all sorts of things. So start there. My number 2 is to be in your body. How does that raise your vibration? What? Because you would think that raising your vibration would mean that you want to go out, you want to like get higher, which would mean out there, because this flesh body is not high at all. On the contrary, we're meant to be here. We're meant to be in the physical. And honestly, the more embodied we are, the more that we can be in charge of our own energy. Otherwise, it's being siphoned off by other things and going in other directions. So when we're not home, something else can come in. So the more we're in our body, the better and the higher our vibration can actually be, which is crazy. So some of the things that you can do is eat more of a high vibrational diet. I have a whole blog and video on that. I'll put that in the links below. And also to exercise, because part of this is epigenetic disposition. We want to turn on our starseed genetics, and so that they can light us up. We are already inherently meant to be freaking lit up, and all we need to do is turn on the keys, give it the ability to do what it needs to do. And by, for instance, eating living, vibrant foods, it can do that. By exercising and moving our body, it can do that. By feeling safe and figuring out how to feel safe, releasing trauma, releasing baggage, and getting in our bodies, we can really let this be a temple for our vibration to radiate. Number 3, do what you love. Do what you love. What is more draining than doing something that sucks, that you don't want to do for money? That's no fun at all. No fun at all. And that's going to be a definite hindrance to your vibration. You're making like a deal with the devil and giving your energy, giving your vibration to this thing, this corporation, this entity that just feeds you money, but it doesn't feed your soul. So doing what you love, doing what you're passionate about is critical to raising your vibration, because that again is your soul embodiment. You're doing what you're meant to be doing here, which of course is going to be of your highest interest and of the highest vibration. So follow your passion. I have a video about all that kind of stuff below. Very important. You can at least start to do the things that you like while you have the job and transition, but either way, really embark on that. And if you don't know what you love, start there. Here are my last 2 tips and my top tips. So number 4 is to reprogram yourself. We have been programmed. We have been sent to prison as kindergartners, and then we had to stay in that prison, and maybe you're in a job, and we've been in this matrix prison for a long time, and it's programmed us in a certain way. So we have to deprogram ourselves and reprogram ourselves. So however you can release any kind of trauma, any kind of baggage is going to be very helpful, and how to reprogram. So during the time when I was really wanting to raise my vibration and really starting on my spiritual journey, I listened to, for instance, like Abraham Hicks or like Bashar back in the day, his older stuff, those kinds of things, and Tony Robbins, whatever it was, anything that would be motivating, anything that had positive beliefs that I could entrain in myself so that it became my new thought belief system. Because we have crap beliefs as humans. So we need to find those that encourage empowerment, encourage our heart's desires, encourage all kinds of things that are good for us. So listen to those kinds of things for hours. And then of course, the meditation to let your mind be still so that it can be silent, which is even better. That's kind of the next step. It's like first step, program, because your mind's just wild, and so at least let it be processing this other thing. And then the next step would be to quiet it, to be present with it, and to meditate so that you can harness it, because your mind determines your emotions. Your mind determines your actions. It determines so much. It determines really everything in so many ways. And if it has that much power, or you've given it that much power, it's running that much automatically, it can run you down crazy roads that are probably not going to be the highest vibration, because the mind isn't meant to be the guide of this life. It's meant to be our souls. And the mind is just the transmitter of the information from source and putting it into action. So really harnessing the mind is going to be critical. And honestly, this has been one of the hardest ones for me, because a lot of the other things came very easily for me. It was just natural for me to be happy and for me to be high. But when I've come into situations that are challenging or triggering, which we'll get into in a second, it requires the resilience and the discipline of the mind, and moving that mind into the heart and raising that frequency to move in a way that's in accordance with our higher selves and in accordance with being a freaking epic human. Right? Rather than being mean, and other things. So it's very important. And so however you can harness and train and program the mind is truly going to have so much effect on how to raise your vibration. Number 5 of how to raise your vibration is actually to face with courage triggers and lower vibrations. What? Because it feels, or it seems like it's like, okay, get away from that lower energy person, or get away from that lower energy thing. And in ways, yes, but not from a place of running away, but from a place of being able to neutrally and lovingly say, I choose something else, and neutrally do it rather than like, oh no, you're gonna lower my vibration, and push it away. When you can courageously step into challenging conversations or things like that with the other, it's going to be highly significant and truly raise your vibration, because then you will see that you are the determinant of it. Because a lot of these things have been, how can I change my outside circumstances so that my vibration is higher? And those things do help, absolutely. But when it comes down to it, you can be in the perfect situation, maybe like in the rainforest in Hawaii, like living off of tropical fruits and like in this paradise. But even in the paradise, you will be left with you. And even in the paradise, you can create issues and you can create problems. I've seen people do it all over the world in perfect situations where everything's going well. And even for myself, I've done this. So in those moments, how can you face, trigger, challenge, and overcome it with love and with grace? That is one of the highest ways to raise your vibration. How can you let go? How can you forgive? How can you have compassion for others? How can you return to your heart space, to your core, when you're faced with adversity or faced with challenge? It is one of the biggest ways, because when you overcome that thing, and whether it's stepping up for yourself, creating a boundary, however it looks to you, it honestly, instantly shifts you into a whole nother version of yourself that is incredibly powerful and that is of a higher octave, because you did that. You went to that next level within yourself. So those are my top 5 ways. I hope you enjoyed them. Please check out the other videos associated with this below to go deeper into these top 5 topics. And please comment below of ways that you like to raise your vibration. There's so many different ways. Crystals, binaural beats, like all different kinds of things that you can do. So find what works for you. And it might change. That's another thing. These things ebb and then they flow. So always be adaptable to the new thing that helps you to that next level. And of course, remember that it's all determined within you. Your energy state matters more than anything, and making that number 1 priority is everything. So subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notifications of my new videos. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll see you next week with another video.